Good morning, children, and welcome to my new class. So, let us move on and start reading from where we had left. So, today we'll be starting from paragraph number 12. We were talking about the mother and the father, Gharial, how they take care of their young ones. So, let us read on. Up to 100 years ago, the Gharial's buzz snort resonated along the deep rivers of the northern Indian subcontinent. Not for the gharial, the still waters of the ponds or lakes where other crocodiles thrive. So here, what we come to know is that for about 100 years ago, the gharial's buzz snort, what is a buzz snort? We have already discussed. This is a river dweller. What do you mean by a dweller? Dweller means where you live, a resident of that particular area. So this is a river dweller that eats only fish. So from here we come to know that it feeds only on fish. Unfortunately, this choice of habitat and diet has been the gharial's downfall. It means that this is becoming the cause of its downfall. Its rivers are being dammed, which means that groups of gharial are separated from each other and they are forced to live in rapidly shrinking habitats. What do you mean by shrinking habitat? It means that the areas which are shrinking. See, human invasion. People are going on constructing new areas, new roads, new cities, new towns, due to which the natural habitats are shrinking. After the last ice age, the Gharial staked out about 20,000 square kilometers of rivers spanning from Pakistan to Myanmar. See, that was when the last ice age happened. And today, its domain is a mere means just 200 square kilometers and gradually decreasing. See, at that time, it was 20,000 square kilometers and it has reduced by 100 times and it has become just 200 square kilometers and it is still decreasing. To counter this decline and that of other Indian crocodilians, Project Crocodile was set up in 1974 by the Indian government with the help from the UN, and UN is United Nations, you all know. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, we carried out surveys, behavioral studies, and captive breeding. We reared thousands of youngsters and released them in protected areas. See how they are doing it. Reared. Reared means they took care of, took under their guidance thousands of youngsters. Which youngsters? The baby gharial. And released them in protected areas. Sadly, few of these crocodiles survived for long, but we did not know why. But they were not very successful in this because many of the crocodiles did not survive. So that was a very sad thing. Next. For example, beautiful Satkosia George in Orissa. Now you'll have to remember these names. Appears to have everything a gharial could want: fish, sandbanks, and protection. Threats such as bamboo rafting and net fishing have been eliminated. Now, these are the two threats that were causing problems to these gharials. Yet, only two of the 700 gharials released here in the past 3 decades have survived. See, they had released 700 gharials, and how many? Only two have survived. So, there must be some problem in that area. When I visited the George during the monsoon in mid July, I saw how small streams had become torrents. The river had eroded the banks and uprooted trees. Now, what had happened there? What is a torrent? See, look here. Strong and fast moving streams of water. Now, actually, in that river, there are torrents, that is, strong and fast moving streams of water, due to which probably these gharials were not able to survive. That could have been one reason. Next, the released gharials were obviously being flushed downriver. Flushed downriver means because of the torrents, they were being pushed downriver, out of the protected area and even into the sea. One was seen on a beach, others in mangroves and ponds. Those that ended up in the tributaries were caught in fishing nets. So probably it is because of the stream, the river's movement, due to which even when the gharials are put in that protective area, they get carried away due to the water currents. Fishing is a massive problem, and now one more problem is there: fishing. In supposedly protected areas, we saw several gharials whose snouts had got tangled in nylon fishing nets. You must have seen that the fishermen, they use nylon fishing nets. So what used to happen was the gharials, what do you say, that pot snout got entangled in the net. It was clear that despite the rules, nets were being set at night, entangling gharials that tried to swim through them or attempted to eat the netted fish. The crocodiles did not drown, but they were left unable to open their jaws and thus in danger of starving to death. So that was becoming really very dangerous. Clearly, though the gharial is not in as much danger as before, our 30-year strategy of captive breeding has not been enough. The species faces an uncertain failure, and its survival is closely linked with the needs of the humans dependent on the river. Our campaign is a part of much larger effort to ensure the survival of these rivers. The threats from development, pollution, and climate change increase day by day. So it's not only fishing. The other problems are, what are the other threats? Threats means dangers. What are the other dangers? Climate change, development, as I told you, that new cities and towns are being constructed. Pollution is one big reason. So, but we are hopeful that people are at last ready to do what it takes to save the Gharial, the finest example of healthy river. So he also says that the people also have to contribute a lot in this. This is how it can be done. I hope this is clear to you. Then we have understanding the text. This part we will be discussing in my Zoom class. And I hope that you have understood the chapter very nicely. Please go through it so that we can discuss all these questions in my next class. So have a nice day and keep learning.